So we're picking it up as we're coming into Ludlow, right where we left off with part one. Here comes part two.
So now we're almost in Ludlow. Ludlow is sort of more of a touristy place than these other towns we've been through. Partly because once we get around the corner here, I think you'll be able to see there's a ski area here. They get a lot of influx of people in the winter skiers. Summertime, there's 2 or 3 lakes not far from here, so you get a lot of summer people coming up. There's well, you won't be able to see it, but there's a mine here where they mine talc. Also, there's a ski area. Still got some snow there. Now this is what's the date today? May 7, I think, something like that. And yeah, still some snow up there, but not anything for skiing. It's just patches here and there. Probably, I'm going to guess that a lot of those patches are close to where the snow guns were. So it got laid down extra thick. It just hasn't melted yet, but it does give you an idea of how long the snow can last here. So this has all been Ludlow, but now we're coming into the main part of town. I don't know if you can tell, we're passing Ludlow's high school called Black River High School, because the Black River runs through here. Now, when I was in high school, we had a basketball team. I never played on the team. I wasn't much of an athlete, but I did keep some of the statistics for the team. Anyway, my story on this one is about my junior year, I think it was, in high school. All the other towns in our league wouldn't play in our gym anymore because it was too small. Now, those of you who know how a basketball court is set up, in front of the basket you got the key, and then out in the center of the court you've got the center ring, circle, whatever. Well, our gym was kind of small. The top of the key and the center ring met on both sides. And if you went in for a layup on one end of the court, you had about 1.5 feet before you hit the wall. There was a pad there, though. I mean, come on. And on the other end of the court, if you went in for a layup, you had about 2 feet, and then the swinging doors led to the outside. So anyway, they didn't want to play with us anymore. So we used to come over here to Ludlow for our home games. The last 2 years I was in high school, I guess they continued that after, until they finally got the Union High School going, which is now Mill River Union. 3 or 4 towns got together and formed a union, built a school over in North Clarendon, Vermont. I think it's Danby, Wallingford, North Clarendon, Tinmouth, I think. Those are the ones that got together. Now, when I was in first grade, they told my folks that I'd be graduating from the new Union High School. Yeah, well, no. It was several years after I graduated from Wallingford High that they finally got the union put together. Here's where we get off of 103, and we take 140. This will go right down into Wallingford. And this is actually East Wallingford. Cemetery ahead of us there. Don't plan to need that for a while. That's East Wallingford Cemetery. Wallingford has its own. There's a bunch of buildings right there in front of us. That used to be Seward's Creamery. They made cheese and ice cream base. And I worked there 2 or 3 summers when I was in school. Drove up and down this road so many times I had counted the number of curves in the road, which I forget now, but I think it was 56. Had an old 56 Chevy, and had a leak in the gas tank. It was like a clamshell type of tank, and the leak was in the seam where the 2 halves came together halfway up, and so I could never put more than half a tank of gas in there, otherwise it'd leak out. As a result of that, being able to put in only half a tank of gas at a time, I had to conserve. So I used to be able to go from, if I remember, just over here. Just around this corner here. Yep, from here I could coast all the way home where we lived at the time. So that's what I'm doing now. I've just shifted into neutral, and we'll see how well we do. Obviously slowing down some, which is okay because the speed limit's actually 40 now. I think the speed limit might have been 50 back in the day. But we'll be alright. I'll just watch behind me because I don't want somebody coming up quick behind me. Going about 38 here. Which, if anything, I think that old Chevy of mine was probably a little bit heavier than this little pickup, so I don't know, that probably helped things a little bit. Here, almost there, so burn off will be alright. It's downhill all the way. And there's the first house, more or less the first house in town. Switch things over here. This is School Street we're coming along. And right, what's now this ugly blue, that's the house I grew up in. Oh, that's right, I'm still out of gear. Obviously, we could have coasted all the way down. Over here on the right is the site of what used to be, I'm sorry, on the left, what used to be Wallingford High School. Pardon my fingers. High school used to set right in there. Elementary school's back there. And some of that's new from where I went to elementary school. Oops. So that's where the elementary school used to set. I don't know if I got a shot of my house or not now that I think of it. That's alright. I'll take you back here someday. And over to the west there is what we call West Hill. Amazing. Let's see, they got the boy in the Buddha? Not yet. I'll tell you about that sometime. There's the Gilbert Hart Library. Spent a lot of time in there. Florence Avenue, also known as Lover's Lane, ever since I've known, don't know why. And then over here, Shed Place. So named because my grandfather used to own all this land here where all these houses are. And that's my father's house. When I went to college, they tried to, I don't know what they were trying, but they moved. Built this house and moved. Didn't tell me. Took me a week to find it. No, not really. Anyway, we're there. All right. Pick you up later.